As soon as you, as a person, decide that you're not gonna lie anymore.
Williams often tackles issues of race, politics, and social justice, using his platform to highlight the struggles and triumphs of the Black community.
And that whatever problem that you have, you're gonna deal with that problem right then where it presents itself.
His ability to blend humor with poignant social commentary has made him a distinctive voice in the world of comedy.
It'll show you a whole new side of you.
He critiques systemic racism and the disparities faced by African Americans, weaving these serious themes into his comedy with sharp wit and keen observations. Williams is also known for his commentary on the entertainment industry itself. He doesn't shy away from calling out the hypocrisies and injustices within Hollywood, particularly regarding how Black artists are treated and represented.
We have the desire as humans to be led. We want to be led into battle. We want to be led into the football game. This is all because this is how we are wired. The cheerleaders and the pomp and circumstance, that goes back to the times of first humanity, because we do need that. I don't want to talk about race and politics and stuff, but that keeps happening, and it just keeps being presented in a new way. And so, you know, critical race theory wasn't a thing 10 years ago, but it is now. Dayton was one of the rare cities in America that was legitimately half Black and half white. So there was power on both ends. I came from a very powerful family in Dayton just because of our sheer numbers. So there were 13 on my father's side and 7 on my mother's side. So I had like 100 first cousins in one city. Like, we just had a large family, and it was a great place for Black people, and it was a great place for white people. It's just that you really couldn't be legitimately racist because your neighbors were of another color, if that makes sense. One of my uncles was the chief of police. Another was the head pastor in town, and, you know, had some cocaine dealing uncles as well. So we were really rooted in the city, but it was a city of money. So we had Cooper Tires, we had Dayton Tires, we had IBM, we had NCR, we had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we had University of Dayton. These are all places where you can make 6 figures even at that time. So it was a lot of money there. As far as on the radio, we would hear every hour 5 or 6 artists that were from where we were from. So we thought that was a part of it. We hearing the Ohio Players, and Roger Troutman and Zapp's studio is our bus stop when we're 7 years old. Like, so I met Prince while I was in Dayton when I'm 12. Like, it was a very vibrant community for Black people. It's been this conversation since '95, and each special is just me picking up this conversation. So if I made a mistake in one, then 2 specials later, you'll see that I've changed my conversation about that particular thing because of growth. And the audience has allowed me just to continue this open dialogue. And now that we're getting to a space where free speech is under attack, and it's really the dark ages come back. It's just a privilege to have a job where you can talk for a living and share your thought process. So I'm really excited. I had been accepted to college before I was 12, so I was already a little bit more advanced than your average child. I had probably read 10,000 books at that period in my life. So I was blessed in that way. But as you know, you can't really just live on that. So God navigated where I was able to see the underworld, if you will. So I go from my parents' house in Ohio to Miami, Florida by myself. I don't know nobody. And that's where the story begins. When I was going to the library, I wasn't reading fiction books. I was reading nonfiction books, and it didn't matter what it was. I know whatever's in this book, I don't know what it is. So I might have read like 1,000 autobiographies, just the life of people that I don't know. And when you do that, you find out that if you were trying to learn something from everybody, you could actually learn something from every single person that you met. And so it's that type of thinking that helped me avoid the pitfalls as I saw them. So the reason I never did drugs when I was an adult is because when I left and went to Miami and I'm living in a park, it's 30 people out there from all different places, and they all are homeless and in a terrible situation just like me. And they telling me that they used to be lawyers and doctors and nurses, and I'm going, well, what happened? And all of them is telling this story where everything in their life was fine, and then they dealt with this drug, and this is where it ended them out. So as a kid, I never saw the fun part of drugs. I never heard about nobody having a good time on drugs, or, oh, you got to take this so you can feel it. I didn't see it from that way. I had already seen what it would do to people, and they're telling me, like, I'm letting people tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't get to Hollywood and start sleeping with white women and doing cocaine, because it'll kill you. Oh, yeah, no problem. Got it. So, in a lot of things, I was just stupid enough to get the lessons, but that came from being willing to learn something from everyone. I worked for zero money more times than I worked for $25,000 in the beginning. So it's okay that it gets to this point. Working for free was part of it. I'm saying that's kind of like the training process of boxing, is what you're willing to not have and what you're willing to deal with. And comedy itself is about taking the same tragedy and trauma that everybody else is dealing with it and somehow wringing something of value out of it. So taking something that's terrible and tragic and traumatic, and to be able to present that and get somebody to laugh in that context is universally important. I never worshiped the bag, so that differentiated me from all of my peers. Like I know what money's good for, and I know that the more of it you have, the more useful you can be. But God has a higher standing on my list of things than the bag does, and because of that, it's no shit on you that you are working this much and not getting paid. Because what I'm really doing is working so that when I do get paid, I can change the craft to where these comics felt like they could have one act and do that for 20 years. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to switch it to the point where everybody got to come with new material every time, because that's the way it goes. And things will change from the inside, because I'm going to say from the start, I'm an outsider coming in the industry and you don't need to like me. But there's so many blessings in just having a plan and working the plan. First and foremost, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I believed at that young age that you could have a relationship with God. And I know that that's kind of old-fashioned now. But when I was young, that's what I believed. And so I developed this relationship where we talk 4 or 5 times a day, and we talk about everything, and I'm coming to you when things are well and when it's not well. And if I ask for something, I know when you gave me what I asked for, because it's the only time. So I understood at a young age that I wasn't like everybody else, that I was in a blessed position, and that I had the ability to be able to make things happen if I could find the instructions and follow them. So at 5 years old, that's how I thought. I knew when things were wrong with the Bible. I wasn't worried about authority because God was like the authority. And other than that, I got to tolerate you, but I'm not allowed to bow down. I'm like that as a child. So my parents didn't do anything wrong. They just wanted me to live a life that I wasn't going to live. They wanted me to be this, and I was not free to live a double life. I can't be that and be what I'm trying to be. At one point, I became several religions because that's the only way you can really find out what's going on in a religion. Religion is not something that you can just study the books about it and now you know about them. I had to be a member of the Fruit of Islam in order to know. Minister Farrakhan calls me his son. I was not regular even in that endeavor, just because whoever the true God is, I don't play about him. And I understand that regardless of what you choose to call him, it's the same entity. And once you study all of the religions, you find out that nobody's really disagreeing with anybody. I'm never pretending to know the answers to things that I'm going into. I'm going into it trying to find out the answers. So that frees me up, that my ego's not involved in what the answer turns out to be. But we collect information, and there aren't that many conspiracy theories anymore, because we found out that all conspiracy theories, there's a nugget of truth in there. It came from somewhere. That's where it became a theory, and then it progressed to the point where it became a conspiracy theory, because there was something there. So, we don't have to wonder, are there other beings in the universe other than us? Exactly. Reverse engineering can only be a thing because of a thing. We can see that in all other industries, if it's not military or government-based, there are no leaps in technology anywhere to be seen. It's only in these certain sectors that we're able to jump ahead. I know that whatever is in our body, whatever that weighs, I know that when it leaves here, it still weighs that in the universe. If you've looked at enough history, you understand that everything works in a cycle. And so you don't have to wonder where things are going. You just have to figure out where you are in the cycle, and that cycle continues to replay itself. So, for our group, we're just, my ancestors' original religion was math and science. So, trying to go back to the old religion and incorporate that in the conversation. I'm not going to probably be the greatest comedian once I'm gone, but I will be the one that had the most original conversation, because my fan base allows me to have that conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's a blessing to be able to be wrong and to be able to make mistakes and to be able to not have the right answers and not have the press and marketing that guarantees success. There's something to be said about all that. And for me, like, I'm not in competition anywhere. Like, I'm really the guy that 6-year-old me was trying to be. Like, I've really nailed that. That's how you know that there's truth in the history, though, because we're now in a place now in history where we're able to to know more about the universe than ever. Like, we've been to places now. You know what I mean? We've been to all these planets and we've had these experiences unlike anybody else in history. But the problem is that whatever they said about the planets 6,000 years ago,
it's bullshit.
No, it was all true, and we are just now finding out. So the question is, how the fuck did they know? You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer's over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. Nope, just the nose. Because it's a brand. I thought when I was real young, I thought if you was a great, great man, you generally died around 25 or 26. Cool. So I had planned my life according to that. And I got into this thing about 6 or 7 years old where I was like, yeah, every 7 years, that's almost like a new you. And so I've kept that model going my entire life. So, I've lived 7 whole existences that were separate from the one before it, taking what it takes from it. But yeah, but I was really a literal person. So when I read in the Bible that Jesus left home at 13, like, I'm thinking, I'm really his dude down here. So that's what I'll be doing. So I had
that's weird. That's really interesting.
I understood that I thought differently than other people, but I worked it to what its strengths were, and just consumed a lot of information. Like I was blown away by reading. Like, I was just blown away that, like, in this amount of time, I could go off and go in a room, and when I come out, I know. Like, that's the only way I made it through school is by the time we started school, I had already read the whole book. Like, I didn't go chapter to chapter. I'm trying to know this whole thing that we're...
Do you think you're an extremist?
I hope so. I hope so, just because I know that there's different stages of everything. So sometimes things curdle. Sometimes they rise to the top. I know that any extreme is better than lukewarm, in my experience. And that stagnation is what can't happen.
Oh, wow.
Wins we can prosper in, losses we can learn from, but stagnation takes no loss. In all of my situations, I try to figure out what the black superhero would do, and then I try to get as close to that as I can. In the lane that I was going to go in comedically, which was one where I was going to expose the seedy underbelly of Satan's playground. I knew that going into that, I should not expect any awards or recognition. It wasn't going to be that. Like, I was really going to have to pat myself on the back and keep myself encouraged. And that I was happy with that part of it. But for the Emmy, that was really God's doing, and that was special on so many facets. Not just because it was an Emmy, but the Emmy is beautiful, and it was for a show called Atlanta. So a powerful city, and then you have.
But I am not reaching out to anyone asking for money, so please do not send money to these.
Jason Momoa just revealed a shocking truth about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is not a new name in Hollywood. She doesn't need any introduction, as she has become one of the most successful talk show hosts. Oprah is a media mogul, a philanthropist, but everyone who seems to have had an encounter with her keeps saying behind her warm smile and inspiring words, there's this part of her we don't know about. From heated exchanges with celebrities like Angelina Jolie and Ludacris to accusations of manipulation and insensitivity. But what's more shocking now and unbelievable is what Jason Momoa, our Aquaman, disclosed about Oprah following the Maui fire incident.
I wanted to inform everyone that there's been some people on Instagram pretending to be me, asking for money.
You know, everything is not shown on camera, so what's really going on behind the scene? And what did Jason finally expose? Join us in this video as we share this revelation. The unbelievable revelation about Oprah Winfrey. Two of Hollywood's most beloved stars, Jason Momoa and Oprah Winfrey, have been making headlines recently. But this time, it's not for their latest projects or philanthropic efforts. Instead, it's for a shocking revelation that has left us stunned. Oprah is well known for her tough but fair interviews and has had her share of celebrity feuds over the years. Oprah's reputation has faced numerous challenges. However, nothing could have prepared us for her latest controversy, a shocking incident involving the Maui wildfire incident that has sparked outrage and accusations of displacement and insensitivity towards indigenous communities, with none other than Jason Momoa leading the charge. The Aquaman star recently opened up about his experiences with Oprah, revealing a shocking truth that has left fans reeling. How true is this? And what exactly did Oprah do this time? Keep watching to find out. It's not a new thing for Oprah to find herself at the center of controversy and serious drama. Over the years, she has had her heated arguments with different celebrities. This is much expected, but Whitney seems to be the problem all the time. Many fans said they liked her at first, then she changed. Like in the case of Angelina Jolie, Winfrey was left surprised when Angelina refused to donate for a project. It was during her launching of Oprah Winfrey Academy for Girls in South Africa that she was expecting Angelina's support because she loves to take part in projects like that one. She was known for her humanitarian work, but surprisingly, she turned Oprah down. Many said it's because Oprah took sides with Jennifer Aniston, and Angelina happened to be with Jennifer's ex-husband. Fair enough, but their relationship has been hostile since then. Another one was with Rachel Ray. According to sources, the two had a heated exchange where Oprah allegedly accused Rachel of using racist language in a conversation. But when confronted about the incident, Rachel Ray denied ever having such a conversation with Oprah. But insiders claim that the tension between the two has been building for years, with Oprah taking issue with Rachel's use of certain language. Oprah felt that Rachel was being insensitive and dismissive of the struggles faced by people of color. The incident has left fans and the public divided, with some supporting Oprah's stance and others defending Rachel's character. We didn't even know whose side to be on anymore. One thing was certain. After these incidents, the Rachel and Oprah relationship was forever gone. Whatever they shared, that was the end. Oprah's case with Chris Pine left everyone shocked. Her reputation for speaking her mind has sometimes led to friction with some of Hollywood's A-list. One of such is with Chris Pine, the Star Trek actor known for his charming on-screen presence. Oprah and Chris had a tense encounter with Pine. Details of the encounter remain scarce, as Chris Pine has remained tight-lipped about the incident. He refuses to talk much about it. He said he didn't want to say much about it, so he wouldn't end up saying things he might regret. In all speculations and fans talking, Chris Pine has continued to maintain a dignified silence on the matter. His refusal to engage in a public feud has only added to this, leaving fans wondering what really happened between them. Oprah never stops to make headlines. And again, guess who left with a sour taste in his mouth in Oprah's show? It was rapper and actor Ludacris. He came on the show to promote a movie. Ludacris felt that Oprah had unfairly edited their conversation to make it seem like he was endorsing her views while omitting his own thoughts and opinions. Ludacris was reportedly taken aback by the editing, feeling that Oprah had manipulated their conversation to suit her own agenda. Yes, it was her show, but certain things should be done properly. He said he initially came to the show to promote the film and not talk about his rapping career, but Oprah didn't seem to be going on the same path. And now, it's Jason Momoa's turn. The actor, who has been vocal about his love for his home state of Hawaii, recently spoke out about the devastating fires that have been ravaging the island of Maui. The fire that ravaged the island of Maui left a trail of destruction and heartbreak. The flames swept through the land with unrelenting force. The devastation is almost unimaginable. Homes reduced to ashes, families displaced, and livelihoods lost. The emotional toll is just as severe, with many residents struggling to come to terms with the loss of their beloved island paradise. Jason made headlines following the video he posted, telling tourists to stay away from Maui following this devastated wildfire. He emphasized the need for locals to have access to essential resources without the burden of tourists during this critical time, and surprisingly, Oprah happens to purchase a property. Jason's issue is with Oprah's decision to purchase a house in Maui, which he feels has displaced indigenous communities still reeling from the devastating fires. He believes that Oprah's purchase has further marginalized the native people, who are struggling to recover from the disaster. And that's not all. Jason's annoyance is also on Oprah, and Dwayne acts on camera, speaking of donating money concerning this incident. He clearly stated that it's deeply heartbreaking and disgusting to know that there are people attempting to take advantage of this tragedy. In his opinion, he sees it as pure evil and a way of stealing money from the poor.
On Instagram, pretending to be me, asking for money. Pure evil, in my opinion.
Not mentioning names, he clearly called them scammers. But we know he was talking about Oprah and Dwayne Act, because who else came out talking about donations? Oprah said she has created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it. It got many people talking, saying it is a phony SOS for making money. Many even say Oprah alone could help the survivors rebuild and still have more money than she could ever spend if she really wanted to help. This recent incident has got the public talking and even citing other incidents, including her shows, with many saying she wasn't even generous, and she had other companies and people donate the things she gave away on her shows. This controversy has shown the complex issues surrounding celebrities. Jason Momoa will continue to use his platform to bring attention to the causes he cares about, even if it means ruffling a few feathers along the way. Fans have expressed their disappointment, stating that they initially admired Oprah but felt she had changed over time. Some have criticized her for being hypocritical, citing instances where she preached empathy and understanding, but failed to practice what she preached. Others have accused her of using her platform to publicly shame and humiliate those she disagrees with, rather than engaging in constructive dialogue. It seems like no matter what Oprah Winfrey does, she can't escape the scrutiny of the public eye. Is it just that Oprah's unapologetic commitment to speaking her truth and living her life on her own terms is what sparks the flames of criticism? Maybe she is just a complex, multifaceted human being worthy of understanding. What do you think of Oprah? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more. Also, click on the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it. Caitlyn Clark's millionaire lifestyle includes living in a luxury home, driving expensive cars, and enjoying designer clothes. She often takes lavish vacations, attends exclusive events, and hosts high-profile gatherings, reflecting her success and wealth.
I'm wearing Armani dress, Versace shoes, Versace bag, Tiffany bracelets, and Tiffany necklace, Cartier earrings.
Here's a moment when Caitlyn Clark is seen wearing high-end brands, demonstrating her refined taste and preference for luxury fashion.
I went with Prada. I think Prada's like very me, very like, I don't know. I'm a pretty simple girl, but Prada's never dressed a WNBA player or NBA player for the draft, so it's very fun. Got the simple white and then sparkly on the inside. But yeah, really fun. Got the bag, got the slick shoes, so yeah.
Caitlyn Clark has been making history both on and off the court.
Caitlyn Clark is making history both on and off the court. The 22-year-old athlete stepped out in a monochromatic Prada set for the WNBA draft, making her the first athlete the Italian luxury fashion house has dressed, male or female, for the NBA or WNBA draft.
Great day for some golf. I never golf this early in the morning.
She grew up in Des Moines, where she spent countless hours playing golf and honing her skills on the local courses.
I grew up in Des Moines and I played there a ton. And honestly, I try to get back there as much as I can to play with my family. My dad plays a lot, my older brother plays a lot. So, you know, it's super fun. Today we're here, Finkbine Golf Course, 2v2 scramble, me and Spence versus Will and Kate. Me and Spence obviously gonna win, so here we go. We're very competitive people. We love to compete, whether it's on the basketball court or if it's out here. I think it just adds a fun element to golf.
People who know Caitlyn often say that she is incredibly goofy and always making jokes, bringing a lighthearted vibe to any situation.
They would probably just say I'm like super goofy. Like I just make like, I don't know, jokes all the time. And I don't think people always understand that. Like when I'm on the court, like I'm competitive, I'm like passionate.
When she's off the court, Caitlyn understands that life is about more than just basketball.
But like when I'm off the court, like I understand like there's more to life than just basketball, and you like get that. Like there's more to life than wrestling. Like just understanding that and enjoying every single day. And like as you know, college goes fast. Like it can't be all serious all the time. So
Caitlyn doesn't collect shoes, but she still owns a lot of them.
I don't collect. I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of like kind of like trendy shoes, like Nike shoes. My mom gets mad when I buy new pairs, but like, here's the thing. My mom loves shoes too, so I probably get it from her.
Yeah, you do.
She says the shoes tie the outfit together. So I'm like, whenever she's like, Caitlyn, you have to stop buying shoes. I'm like, Mom, you have no room to talk. And then she just laughs. But yeah, honestly, like we get a lot of shoes from Iowa, basketball and tennis shoes. So like, I don't need to buy shoes, but you know, everybody needs some good pairs of shoes.
What kind of shoes does Caitlyn wear for basketball?
When you pick your shoe for basketball, do you go the Kobe's? Do you go the Jordans? What is your shoe?
Recently, KD's.
Okay.
His latest one, those were very comfortable. It was probably my favorite. They're almost like a mid-sole one, so they weren't low, but they weren't high. So like kind of protected your ankle a little more. I had quite a few pairs of those this year. It was really fun. I had a really good time. I thought I did a little better on the front nine. Wasn't as tired. Kind of got really tired on the back nine, but it was really fun. I appreciate all the Hawkeye fans that were out there today. A lot of people that support the Hawks, support women's basketball, so that was super cool to see. But just enjoying it because it's different for me. This is a little out of my comfort zone.
It's particularly special for Caitlyn to face off against the Ryder Cup captain in a golf match, as it presents a unique opportunity to compete against a prominent figure in the sport.
So just tried to have fun with it, and obviously when you get to golf against, the Ryder Cup captain, not many people get that opportunity, so it's pretty special.
What do you do outside of basketball?
Oh, well, during basketball season, I don't have a ton of time, but my favorite spring, summer activity is golf. I love to go play.
I'm sure you're not competitive at all.
No, I'm not competitive at all. I obviously just like to do it because it's fun, and why else would I do it? I just love to go out there. If I have a bad hit, I don't care at all. But no, I'm super competitive, and honestly, we have a couple other girls on the team that like to play, a couple coaches that like to play, managers, so it gets competitive. It's usually not like us just all going out there and shooting our own score. It's 2v2, best ball. It's obviously going to be competitive in some way. So I would say that's my favorite activity when I'm not in basketball season. I remember getting my first set of golf clubs for one of my birthdays when I was really young. My dad got it for me. It was an all pink bag, all pink clubs, and my dad would always take me when we were younger. I probably started playing golf when I was 3rd or 4th grade. I mean, I was terrible. I couldn't hit it off the ground, but I loved doing anything that was competitive. So even though I was bad, I just kept really working hard at it.
What time's the alarm normally set for Caitlyn Clark's world?
Well, during school, I'd probably get up 8:30 every day. Depending on when I had class, I had 8 a.m.s twice a week. But other than that, probably 8:30. But now that I'm home and I have nothing, I've been sleeping until 9:30 every day. I feel
Embrace it while you can.
I feel like a bum when I get out of bed. I'm I wasted half the day, Mom. Why didn't you wake me up?
No, that's your body telling you need it. Trust me.
It's been good.
What is your favorite season and why?
Ooh, I'd go fall. Just because, I love summer and I love winter, but just the two combined. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. Football, basketball's just starting up again. It's my favorite. Outside is just so beautiful. It's definitely my favorite.
Caitlyn usually replies to her family's texts as quickly as possible, making sure to stay connected and maintain strong relationships despite her busy schedule.
I usually just text my family back as fast as I can, but other than that, I usually am off my phone for quite a bit after the game because we have media and stuff like that, but I'm usually not in a rush to respond to people and stuff.
You guys are all going to dinner as a team. Who are you waiting on the longest to get ready?
Honestly, Monica. She's kind of slow sometimes. Yeah.
If you had a hypothetical kid, who would you not let babysit that kid?
Hannah Stolke, for sure. A lot of people probably said me, though, but I'm really good with kids. We have a lot of babies in the program. Coach Abby just had a baby, and strength coach did. And I love being around them. I take care of them, but I'm going Hannah Stolke.
Why is that?
Just kind of all over the place. Freshman, hasn't really figured it out yet. Probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. But with a kid, I don't know.
Her satin miniskirt and jacket, bedazzled two-top, and black pumps were well received by many, including Caitlyn's boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey. Responding to a fan on X when asked his reaction to Caitlyn's slam dunk fit, Connor dropped 3 emojis, including the jaw-dropping and drooling face. Caitlyn responded a simple teary-eyed emoji. The college basketball it girl was the #1 draft pick and was picked up by the Indiana Fever.
When she was younger, she was terrified of cats, often feeling uneasy around them and avoiding them whenever possible.
When I was younger, I was terrified of cats. I can deal with them a little now. I don't really love them anymore, but I do not like cats.
Why?
What freaks you out about them?
There was this really mean one on my street growing up. So its name was Jinx, and it was black with green eyes, and I just did not like that thing. So to my neighbors, if you hear this, I'm sorry. Jinx just wasn't my favorite.
Jinx went missing. We have no idea what happened.
So you tell all the roommates no cats allowed, right?
Heck no. My roommate, I'm roommates with Kylie, who's on our team too.
Yeah.
She would never get a cat. I think she knows I don't like cats. I'm a huge dog person.
Are you a dog person?
Huge dog person. We have a golden retriever at home.
Honestly, I watch a lot of golf. I think over the years, definitely Jordan Spieth's probably my favorite. Justin Thomas. On the girls' side, I like Nelly Korda. She's really good. That's weird. It says 180 for a second, and it goes to 144. If I had to pick a foursome for my team, I'd go Kate, myself. Then I'd go probably Catherine Reynolds. She golfs. She's our director of basketball operations. And then I would probably go Coach Raina because she's pretty good at golf and she's super funny. So she'd be good entertainment on the course.
A lot of people, they now want cars from you. Will you be able to deliver?
Cars, because my Buick deal?
Yeah.
I don't know about cars. I was joking with one of our managers. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get you a minivan. I think you'd be really cute driving a minivan, but no, I wish I got a car. I got them all headphones though with my Bose deal, which was fun. They all love those, so we're all gonna have matching headphones going to this tournament.
What shoe have you not rocked that you want to rock? You come back in one game, into the locker room, you can crush any meal. What are you picking?
Chicken parm, pasta, and a big glass of chocolate milk.
Here's a list of the shows and movies Caitlyn Clark watches on Netflix.
All right, your Netflix queues up. What are we watching?
Okay, so season 4 of You just came out. Outer Banks is about to come out, but also the new show about the PGA Tour is about to come out, where they were behind the scenes of the PGA Tour all of last year. So I'm super excited about that one on Netflix.
Outer Banks, isn't that like a romance?
Yes, it's a cheesy high school show basically, but that's kind of like what I like.
Yeah, well, we had Dawson's Creek. Did you ever hear that one?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but like my favorite show of all time is One Tree Hill.
Oh, okay,
Did you
same
watch
thing.
that? Yeah, basketball. You got the love, romance, high school drama. I remember, like, that was my favorite show.
I love watching Netflix when I have downtime or just chilling. When I have time, like cooking meals at home or baking. You know, I grew up with my mom, who's a super good cook, so I learned some things from her.
Music.
Okay.
What are you bumping to when you're warming up?
Okay, this is probably gonna be surprising to a lot of people, but I go more like calm music when I'm like warming up because I'm already so like amped and juiced for the game that I don't need to keep adding to it. So I'm going more like calm music, like country music is usually what I pick. You know, it's not like super slow. It's not like I'm trying to go to sleep, but it's like, you know, you're not getting more amped than you already are.
Is there a food you have to like stay away from?
Honestly, not really. I'm not a very picky person. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like anything like super fancy. Like I kind of just like the basics, but I don't know. I'm not picky really. I'll eat basically anything.
We're not going to make it here unless you come and help us.
I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning.
Appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like it's just super cool.
Cheryl Miller has 3 Indiana Fever teams under her belt.
So we're here at the WNBA All-Star Game. She's the head coach of Team WNBA. All right, you got 3 Fever players on your team. Caitlyn Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston. You've been able to watch these guys from afar.
Yeah.
What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
Indiana has a promising future ahead, with lots of potential for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players, but Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too.
Basketball IQ isn't just about knowing the game. It's about learning and improving quickly.
That basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young and they're learning how to play the game and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster. And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments.
Cheryl is confident that they will mature and improve as they continue playing.
The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games. But this is not a team people want to play because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
Yeah, we love that. That's probably what contributed to them having such a successful end to that first half.
From the players' perspective, it's going to be a fiercely competitive game between the WNBA and the USA team.
All right, now we're going to transition to tomorrow, Team USA. All right, it's not just your regular year, it's an Olympic year. The intensity is high. That's what we heard from the players earlier. What's your mindset going in?
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on, and these guys are competitors at both ends, and we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
Here's Caitlyn's perspective on Cheryl Miller.
What's a Cheryl Miller practice like?
Gosh, I love Cheryl. I love her brother too. He's awesome, obviously, a pacer too.
We were in a little commercial together, so I love their family. They're just awesome people. And one of the best that's ever played the game. So I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious, and it's fun. Like, I called her coach and she was like, I don't know about that yet. You'll have to see how I do during the game. So, no, but it's super fun. And then obviously Andy Myers drives out too. Getting to be around those two people that have done so much for the game.
It means a lot to Caitlyn to have the opportunity to be coached by Cheryl Miller.
For me, it's super special. Like, there's still two people that I really look up to and idolize and appreciate everything that they've done, and for them to have this moment too and be a part of it, like, it's just super cool.
Here's Christy Side's perspective on 3 Indiana Fever players being coached by Cheryl Miller.
The 3 of your players, I mean, the talk of the weekend has been where your organization is trending, where these players and their chemistry is trending. They're here, they put on a show, it should be fun tonight. What's that mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, you know, just what you said, just the future of the Fever, it's incredible. I mean, to have, you know, these 3 here and then what we have that are at home, just some unbelievable young talent, and that's just fun for the future.
Especially so young, to get this experience with other great players in the WNBA.
Being around veterans helps them gain valuable experience.
For sure, you know, to be around some of these vets and just to hear their experiences and give them some advice on like what it took, and, you know, to be on these teams that are, you know, the top teams in our league. So it's just good for them to be around these guys and just get that good advice.
This is the start of your break. Why did you feel it was so important to be here and support them?
Oh gosh, I mean, these 3 guys, you know, playing in this game, I mean, wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I hated I missed Kelsey last night in the skills challenge. We had a event last night, a funeral yesterday in Indy that I had to be at, but glad she was able to, you know, pick it up for Erica Wheeler, who couldn't be here, and that was just an exciting. Glad she got to do that and represent the people.
Seems like the growing chemistry of Caitlyn and Aaliyah might be an example of what's to come for everything else, for everybody on that roster with this upcoming break. How much have you seen the team chemistry begin to transform to where you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes with, you know, the wins and just, you know, early, some of the same actions that were happening before. We just weren't on the same page. It takes time to build that chemistry on the court. And so now you've had games and you've had practice. And so now that they've had that opportunity, you're seeing what they're capable of doing. And then it's just surface level right now.
You've had a couple days to, you know, decompress after this first 26 games of the season. Just what's your biggest takeaway from the first 26?
It's pretty incredible, Chloe. Just the games that we played with the fans in the stands. I mean, just playing in front of sold out arenas every night, you know, even in the preseason, even in our games early, you know, to play in front of fans like that, it's just so awesome that these players are getting that opportunity.
How does Cheryl Miller approach tonight's game?
How do you approach tonight's game in the sense of, like, it's an all-star game, but obviously this game means a lot for Team USA to get ready for the Olympics, as you know. And I'm sure obviously you want to win, as you mentioned yesterday, but it's not just a typical all-star game you've seen in years past.
It really wasn't, as we were talking about yesterday. And then watching the men today against Sudan, it got real, like real. So with that being said, I know the mindset of the players that I have the opportunity and honor to coach, and they want to win. Fun is winning. And that's the general consensus. So we're going to put the best product out there. I certainly want to get everybody a great look. And I think that's only fair because they deserve that. And then after that, they basically dictate it. You know, if they want to go for the juggler, they'll go for the juggler. And that means for some of the players sacrificing their minutes. The teams that I've coached, period, compared to this team?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, these are the greatest players in the world. And when you have the greatest players in practice, and I'm coming in fresh and hot and new, and the game is so different than when I coached from the college level, and even from when I coached the Mercury. They are so invested in the game and so knowledgeable. Their basketball IQs are off the charts, and they're basically going to be coaching themselves. So that's the biggest difference. And again, like I said yesterday, it's the collaboration amongst all of them, each other, and just working it out and what they want to do.
How cool is it to coach Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark as they make their All-Star debuts, and how will you continue to teach them like the lessons in the game?
Here's the most significant lesson Cheryl Miller has given to Caitlyn Clark.
I think the biggest lesson that I can share with them is to stand back and be of service in the best way I can. I speak when I'm spoken to. I try to give them the best answers that I can and let them be themselves. And again, coaching is so it's easy for me now because I understand what the players need and looking ahead. It's not just what they're doing on the court, it's off the court. I understand that for young players, it's important for them to establish, and I hope I'm answering your question, their brand. But basketball and brand, it's beyond that. And I don't want them to lose sight of what's really, truly important, and that's the love of the game and how and why they started playing with this round thing and how that made them feel. I never want them to lose sight of that. And I hope I answered your question.
Miller offers her insights on the all-star team dynamics.
Yeah. What's your perspective been of how they've been trending and just them individually as well?
I will say one thing. I did not count on their basketball IQ being that high. I knew it was high, obviously, because they play at this level.
She emphasizes the importance of collaboration for success.
But it's one thing to know knowledge, it's another thing to talk about and speak and then put it into pieces and places. But it was a great collaboration with all the players.
Cheryl believes Indiana's future in women's basketball is very bright.
But Indiana has a very, very bright future.
For being how young they are, too. That basketball IQ speaks volumes.
It not only speaks volumes, it's one thing to be young, and they're learning how to play the game, and they're learning about their mistakes and how to correct them faster.
Rookies must master stopping the run and shifting game momentum.
And so they're making those game, in-game and out-of-game adjustments. The only thing I see that's going to happen the older they get is how to stop the run sometimes and how to change, the momentum during games.
The players are improving, showing confidence and fearlessness.
This is not a team people want to play because not only are they getting better, but they're confident and they show no fear. They're fearless.
It's all fun until the ball is tossed up. Then it's game time.
My mindset is their mindset. So it's all fun and games until the ball is tossed up. And then it's on. And these guys are competitors at both ends. And we're just going to go out there and give it a great show.
This wave of momentum reflects the journey of women's basketball.
So do you think that with your team this year is in the same position to do that globally for the WNBA brand?
I mean, I think it's been, it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. But I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things. I think we're continuing to, be on that upward trajectory, and this team has absolutely been a part of that.
Hey, Coach, what does it tell you about the overall talent right now in women's basketball that, you've got the best team chosen in the world to play the Olympics, and then you just got beaten by a group of people in the NBA who seem to be just as talented?
In the NBA, it felt like we were guarding somebody from the NBA tonight, I think we know this. Everybody in this room, you're here because you've been watching women's basketball. I assume you're not new to it, right? So the depth, we've said this for years.